Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we are going to be watching this interesting video I found about the truth about main character energy for anxious girls. Okay, a little bit different, but we are always venturing into unknown territory. We are always exploring, and we are seeing what the life advice is for women. Okay, we are living in interesting times. We're living in times where we are literally at war. Okay, Iran, the United States has dropped bombs in Iran. They have launched missiles, and the Iranian government has retaliated by hitting back the military bases in the UAE, in Qatar, in Bahrain. So we are in the processes of a war. We are in the starting phases of tit for tat. It's like you hit us, we'll hit you back. Okay, but it's kind of, they're not hitting mainland places, they are hitting strategic military bases in order to scare each other into a ceasefire, into a truce. Hopefully we can resolve this. Okay, the last thing I want to fucking see is a full blown out war. But you never know with a guy like Trump. When you have a guy like Trump in power, a guy who is, feeding off of the energy of the people, to who really tune into him like he is a TV show. Okay, like, TV, the cinema is dying. The movie industry is dead. TV, like since Game of Thrones, really, and that was ruined, by the way. Has there been any decent TV show on, on television? Right? Like even on Netflix, like, you have these random things that come up what now and again. But all in all, it's never something great, you know. So people have not much to look forward to in their lives and don't have much to look forward to in terms of entertainment. And then you have a guy like Trump who is, really shouldn't be anywhere near the White House. Okay, but he is a puppet. He is there working on behalf of the shadow government. He is being dragged into war, a proxy war that the Israeli government wants. Okay, and that, I mean, this is what I mean. You start off with one thread, it leads you into another. Okay, Trump being drawn into the Israeli war with Iran, right? And then you have a guy like Jeffrey Epstein, who's also connected to Trump, also being a Mossad agent, possibly running a honeypot operation for Iran, for the Israeli government, for Mossad. Um, you really kind of have to sit back and be like, like how interconnected is this web? It's a very incestual, it's a very uncomfortable way of viewing the world. Okay, it doesn't breed about much hope. It doesn't bring about much hope for you as an individual. However, if you are a female, if you are of that gender, then you may be feeling anxious. You may be feeling like you are not worthy of the world, and there is why this lady has made the anxious guide, the main character energy guide for anxious girls. Okay, let's jump straight in. Let's see what she is talking about.
That is most certainly going to rob you of a life filled with optimism, beauty, laughter, and opportunity. That's exactly what anxiety does. It robs you, it suffocates you, and it keeps you mentally trapped away from the rest of the world where you're constantly finding yourself fighting off worries, fears, and distorted self-image.
Yeah, and that is what, we here at Raw Instinct are all about. We are here to create new kingdoms. We are here to crown ourselves as kings. We're here to take over the game. We are here to take over nations and establish our own nations in the time in the making. We are setting up new systems. If you have a person who has lost faith in the system, if you're a person who doesn't really have much trust in what is going on right now, I mean, the leaders are taking us to war, into a war that we have no say in, into a war that we have no control over. The only thing that is left to do is for you to become somebody who is leaving the system, somebody who is creating their own system, somebody who's creating their own network, somebody who is creating their own nation. And that is why here at Raw Instinct, we are creating the Amichis, we are creating the Royal Network Alliance of Kings, where we come together, where we establish kingdoms in our own name. so that we are safe from any potential war, from any nuclear fallout, any nuclear missiles that the America might launch or Iran might launch. We are isolated from that because we are buying private islands to move to get away from it all. And once we establish our kingdoms, we will run those countries, those new territories, how we see fit. Okay. People cannot tell us what to do. People cannot control us. We are outside of the system. We are beyond the system. We are above the system. We are the new elites. We are the new decision makers. We will be triumphant. We will be gloriously enriched, living lives of luxury. And if that is something that is appealing to you, then you need to reach out to me and join us here on Royal Instinct. Okay. But that is, how do you become a king, right? I say all that, all the benefits that you might get once you establish a kingdom, but how do you get onto the journey of becoming a king, right? Why can't every person in the world become a king? And the reason that they can't is because they have too much self doubt, they have too many negative thoughts in their head. And once you remove those blockages, let's call them, right? If you remove that self-doubt, if you remove those negative thoughts, okay, those things that are holding you back, that little voice inside your head telling you that you shouldn't do it, that you can't do it, that maybe you're not good enough to do it. Once you remove those things, you are literally free to then go out and conquer the world and do in it as you see fit. Okay, I mean, how do you think a guy like Trump goes about, saying the things that he says, believing the things that he says, living the life that he does? Okay, the guy has no filter. He has no ability to doubt himself. Okay, he is so fully focused in his own destiny, in his own ability, right? And what destiny is something that you create yourself, right? It isn't a preordained destiny by some other greater power. It is a destiny that you choose to follow. Okay. And once you understand that you hold that power to go forth and fulfill your destiny, whatever you may choose that to be, that you can achieve it. Okay. But, it is only possible if you, remove any doubts or, hang ups that you have about, not being worthy of it, not being good enough for it. And that is why here at Raw Instinct we work together, side by side, supporting each other, giving each other counsel, giving each other confidence, creating a confident environment, creating a safe environment where we can fully unleash our total potential onto the world, without any self-doubt, unfiltered, allowing the world to see how great we are, the great insights that we have. And once you're able to do that, then there is nothing that can ever stop you, in this life, in this world. And that is how we become subject matter experts, because we are working within our sphere of influence, within our sphere of a zone of genius, the thing that we are most passionate about. We are going for it. We cannot be stopped, and once we're seen as an authority within that field, it is only natural that we become somebody who is seen as an authority. And once we have that authority, we establish kingdoms, we crown ourselves kings, and we join the network that is the Royal Instinct Alliance of Kings, working, conquering side by side, again, alongside each other. And when the great wars to come begin, when we are in trouble, when the world is at a loss and at war, that we will come forth and provide a new option for the world, for the people of the world, for the citizens who need a new home, who need a new person to follow, a new country to live in. We provide that arrangement, that opportunity for people, because we are the people who, in essence, put our balls on the line. We are the people who decided that we will do something about it, that we wanted to see change, and we took that risk. Okay, and it is all about first move advantage, which you as a member of the Royal Instinct Royal Alliance, that you get to bask in, that you get to really um use to your advantage. And like, once you are a king, you have the best opportunities in the world given to you. Okay, because you are a king, the world will see you as a king, and because you portray yourself as a king, is only right that you have the best opportunities. Okay, you will have money coming your way. You will have the best people around you. You will have the best healthcare. You will live a life of luxury, eat the best food, live the best life. And when it comes to women, most women see themselves as the main character. Most women see themselves as queens. And if they are a queen, if they are a main character, would they want to be with a NPC, a background character, a lower character, a peasant character? No, most women see themselves as queens, so it is only natural that they end up with kings. And if you portray yourself as a king, how like we do here on Royal Instinct, it is only natural that you will have all the women that you ever desired. You will get to your pick of women. People will see you. Women will be lining up to become your queen, to be part of your harem. Okay, but let's jump into the video.
The sucky part about this is I'm sure you have visualized yourself being that very confident woman, that woman that's full of sass, that woman that's full of ambition.
And that is what a lot of women do. They big each other up. They say like you need to have sass. They create an environment where a woman can be sassy, right? Because if you're sassy in an environment where people will take the piss out of you, where people make fun of you, you're not going to speak up in that type of environment. But if you have an environment where you have literal girls clapping for you, where you have literal girls going like you go girl, um you're going to feel more empowered to be sassy, to have a little attitude, to be more playful, and it creates an environment for a woman to be in a feminine energy. Now, if that feminine energy is not controlled, if she doesn't have a man in her life, it does end up taking a masculine turn. But most women, they'd rather find their king, right? Like a lot of women have problem dating because most men aren't good enough for them, or at least that's how they see it. And it's fair enough. Look, man, in life you get to choose whatever the fuck you want. Okay. However, most women want a king. And because here on Raw Instinct, we portray ourselves as king, you know what I mean? I am building my kingdom. I am establishing my kingdom. I am crowning myself a king. And if you want to be a king also, if you want to be a queen, then reach out to me, join the Royal Alliance of Kings, become a royal. Let me know what you are most passionate about, and we can work together because we share similar sort of values, right? Most people who watch this, right, like literally they can go and fuck themselves, right? They can go and suck a dick, they can go and eat shit, because this place is not for them, right? This place is for only the type of person that I want to work with, the right type of people, the people who understand what it is that I'm doing. I'm literally here sending out a bat signal, creating heroes, creating people, encouraging people to go on a hero's journey, right? And if you ever felt in your life like you wanted to do something that you thought, that there should be something great that you do with your life, this is your opportunity. Okay, you don't have to go it alone. You can have a network around you, a good group of people, the best friends, the amichis around you who have your back, who want the best for you, who want to see you win. um you know you don't have to be a lone wolf in this scenario. Okay, but you have to take the call. You have to decide that that is something that you want. You have to get up off your ass, and you have to show the world what you are about. You have to take that risk, and that is what we do here at Royal Instinct. We take risk, we go for what we want, we go for our dreams, and it is only natural that we crown ourselves as kings and royals. Let me know if that is something that you resonate with.
The one thing in between you embodying that main character energy and becoming that confident, ambitious person in your life is the anxiety. You've given enough years sitting back, being stagnant, watching everybody else plow full steam ahead in the pursuit of their personal goals and career goals. So how much longer do you plan to succumb to anxiety before you actually...
Yeah, a lot of people who are not happy with their situation, with their life, they see themselves as a secondary character, okay, in maybe somebody else's life, in somebody else's shadow. Because that they lack the confidence to you know to put themselves out there, to take that main character and be the main character. You need a sort of gravitas, a sort of energy about yourself. And how do you develop that if you are somebody who is naturally very introverted, somebody who naturally doesn't believe that there's anything special about you? How do you have that je ne sais quoi in an environment where people are telling you that, you know, you are not the best looking person, you are not the best, the most interesting person, right? At the end of the day, being interesting, you know, who the fuck wants to be interesting, right? You have to be interesting to yourself, and that is all that matters. Okay, if you find yourself interesting, right, everything else is secondary. Okay, I live my life, right? I don't go around, you know, pretending to be an interesting person, right? I'm interesting to myself, right? I think I'm the most amazing person that's ever lived, right? I am the person who, I really believe will change the world. I believe I will take over the globe. I really believe that me and my alliance of kings that I'm forming here, you know, I'm going to choose the best people. I'm going to be surrounded by the best kings, 100 kings that I'm going to find are here, because, you know, the internet is a place where, you know, you don't live on earth anymore, right? We all live in this hyper reality called the internet, right? That is where people are forming new nations, that is where people are making new money, that is where people are spending most of the time, right, on the algorithms, on the on, you know, messaging via the internet, right? It is all on the internet, right? That is how we are connected globally now, through this new network. And to be a relevant person, you have to be seen on the internet. Okay, and how do we do that here on Raw Instinct? We become kings, we become subject matter experts, we establish authority, we delve into what it is, that is our passion, our life purpose, and we develop expertise in it, position ourselves as subject matter experts. And it is only natural that we then get full authority, that we get full, um you know, that people defer to us as a source of authority. And once people are deferring to you, it is only natural that we establish the kingdoms. Okay, we crown ourselves as kings, and people will begin to follow us. People will want to follow us. People will want to live within the borders of our new kingdoms, of our new castles. We are buying private islands here on Royal Instinct, and we want you to be a part of it. We want you to join. We want you to be part of the new alliance that we are building here.
Start fighting back and taking control of your life choices. I don't know if you noticed, but babe, we don't have any time to waste here. Like, it's literally June 2024. I feel like I blinked and it was June. So clearly time has no intentions of stopping for not one of us living and breathing air right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our intention on squaring up one-on-one. Yes, we're gonna have to square up. We're gonna have to roll the sleeves up and get ready to box anxiety, because we are not going to let anxiety win anymore. Look here, girlfriend, you got things that you are trying to accomplish, so we are not going to let anxiety win anymore. We are going to figure out how to decrease the anxiety. And
do you see how she has the way she is speaking? She is speaking like she's speaking like she is the main character. Okay, she is speaking like, you know, she ain't taking no shit off everyone, right? She ain't taking, you know, she is going to choose how she lives life. She is deciding what she's going to do. All the responsibility and decisions end with her. Okay, she is making the actions. She is you know, not second guessing herself, which is really important. And I know most of the people who watch my channel are men, you know, and most people who join my community are men as well. But, you know, sometimes I get messages from women as well. They're very interested in being queens, in meeting kings. You know, a lot of the time they want to, you know, they ask me to hook them up with other kings that I know within my community. But you know, it comes from this feeling that, you know, like the best way I can tell you how it is you're gonna die, right? Okay, you're gonna die, and once you die, life ends, and then nobody, you know, you do it by yourself. That even if you have your family around your deathbed, okay, most people they're just gonna watch you die, right? Like, I remember when my grandfather died, you know, I went to visit him his last time. You know, he's very ill, um, you know, and he was kind of in and out of consciousness, right? Like it was a very sad thing to say, but, you know, like I was just there, kind of observing him. Um, but he was the person going through the experience of death, right? So even that I was there for him, right? I wasn't with him. I was there physically in the room, but I wasn't there having that experience with him. Whereas here at Raw Instinct, we are experiencing winning together. We are experiencing building kingdoms together. but the actual experience of death is something that you do by yourself. And it really, it is your own choice, right? If you want to use the time that you have left to really, drop all fears, drop all self-doubts, and just fucking give it a go, right? Like if you're living life right now and you're happy with your life, like I'm glad for you, okay? um but if you're somebody who is fed up with life, if you're somebody who's down in the dumps, if you're somebody who's depressed, right? If you have no hope or no future, right? Like, what have you got to lose at that stage? You might as well try. You might as well give it a go. You might as well take on that, you know, main character energy and really force yourself and drive yourself towards success, right? Because you only have one opportunity to do this. You only have one life. And the earlier you do it, the more enjoyable your time here will be, right? And um, the more you can accomplish, right? People need a hero. People need a leader. There's a lack of leaders here on Earth in the world right now. Like I'm really looking out, within the world. Like, who is there that you can really trust? There's nobody that I trust. There's nobody that I can really put my all behind. Which is why I am here. I trust fully. I trust myself fully, and I'm saying that you should be the only person that you trust, right? But if you're also a person who thinks like me, who understands what I'm doing, is a good person, then I want to hear from you, right? Because at least then me and you both can rely on each other. We can work together. We can really accomplish something that's never been done before. Okay. Most people will think that what I am doing is unachievable, right? Because I'm not backed by any of the elite establishments, right? But I'm saying that the power that we can cultivate here at Royal Instinct, by becoming kings, by crowning ourselves kings, by tapping into our life purpose, by really channeling that main character energy, that we can really take over and accomplish something new, become the new de facto rulers of the earth.
Increase that main character energy. Welcome back, babes, to another video. Obviously, we are getting into some of that main character energy. Okay. Let me stop playing. Let me stop playing so I can get through this video and not be silly the whole time. But of course, as always, if you guys want to follow me on short form content, Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram, and you want to see style content, hair content, beauty content, that is where I do all of that kind of content on my short forms. But of course, here on YouTube, we are keeping it all about the conversation. I'm sure many of us who have actually dealt with anxiety can all attest to the fact that it is that heavy onset of worry that stops us dead in our tracks every single time. It's almost like that worry is paralyzing. Personally, I developed.
And most people are paralyzed by their self-doubt, by their worries, by the fears that they hold inside. Okay. And I'm here to tell you that, for example, I'll tell you the story. When I started this YouTube channel, like I had no idea what I was going to talk about, what I was going to do, what I was going to, really the type of content I was going to produce. Okay. But like, I was just like I bought this mic, right? It cost about like $100, right? £100. I bought a webcam, right? I had a laptop, right? I bought like a ring light, right? And I just turned it on, and I just said, right, every day I'm gonna live stream, every day I'm gonna make a video, and I just started recording, okay? And then literally I just started speaking straight from the heart on random topics, doing reaction videos, okay, giving my take. And that is how things snowballed into something tangible, right? And then now, I've got over 100 videos recorded on my YouTube channel. I've got over 1,000 shorts on my YouTube channel, and I've got like, I've been live streaming for the past 5 weeks now, every single day. Doing 1 hour live streams. Again, like you have to embrace that uncertainty. You have to go into the darkness. You have to just put yourself in that situation where you might fucking just fall flat on your face, and that is part of it, right? Like sometimes, like I remember right at the beginning, I used to say some very silly things. I know I'm an R a lot, right? Which I plan to eradicate, but it's not really a big issue for me, because for me it's more about showing up. It's about um putting out the video, because I'm not trying to, monetize this YouTube channel. I'm not trying to, you know be Mr. Beast or I Show Speed or one of these, big content creators. I'm here to 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 tell you that if you are somebody who thinks like me, that you're not alone. Okay, that there is other people, that there are other people, that we together, right? Like the world, that there's 10 billion people in the world, that out of 10 billion people, that there are similar people to you, and that we can really come together, work together, build an alliance, and really take over the game, take over the world, take over this earth, take over this situation, dethrone the elites, and run life, run the world as we see fit. Okay. Now that type of ambition, right? Most people won't resonate, okay? Because most of you are fucking too busy gooning to porn. Most of you are too busy um worried about, oh, like, what are people in my school going to think about me, what people in my work going to think about me. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. Okay. It's all about, you know you speed running yourself, okay, going straight to the top, right, living a life of luxury, okay, and then together, like, it is only right, because we took that risk here at Raw Instinct, that we get to live life at top, that we get to live life of luxuries, that we get to enjoy everything that you dream of. Okay, your dreams out is our reality here at Raw Instinct. If you understand what it is I'm saying, if you understand what it is that I'm doing, then reach out to me. Let's work together.
Anxiety after I had kids. It was the strangest thing. Like, let me tell you, 18 to 20, baby, I partied with my fake ID and all. I was at every club, I was at every party. I didn't care if the entrance only had a one-way in, one-way out exit. Honey, I was at the party. I did not care. And then it was like, boom.
And that's the way you need to live life. Like, you cannot care, you can't worry. Obviously, especially like someone like me, like I'm a big, I used to be a big overthinker. I used to be somebody who used to think of every scenario, everything that can go wrong. And it got to the point where it's like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to let things go wrong. And then, it is all about how you deal with those things that are going wrong. Is how you deal with those setbacks, right? So, and that's where the growth is in life. Okay. So put yourself in those situations, put yourself in those scenarios where you might be exposed, you might be um, laughed at, where you might fail, where you might fall flat on your face. But what I'm here to tell you is that you are not alone. That when you do fail, when you do fall flat on your face, that I'm here to have your back, that I'm here to help you, that I'm here to offer guidance, that I'm here to establish a friendship, that when the rest of the world is laughing at you, that you realize that it doesn't really matter, because only the Amichis, your true friends, the people within your kingdom, are the only people that truly matter.
I have kids, and then all of a sudden I have the worst anxiety. And it's not only that I developed like a general anxiety, I developed social anxiety real bad. I went.
And today, many people have social anxiety. Many people, especially since the lockdowns, many people are, that they've been stuck inside their rooms. They've been stuck inside their 15-minute cities, inside the bedrooms, plugged into the internet, plugged into the metaverse, and they have no way of escaping. When they do go into reality, when they go into the real world, they feel overwhelmed. They feel that they, you know, don't fit in, that they are seen as lesser than. So is something that you think, oh, you suffer from social anxiety, the rest of the world does as well. Okay. And the way we overcome it here at Raw Instinct is by, we throw ourselves into situations. We don't give a fuck what the reactions are, because the only reaction that matters is the one that we place upon the situation. I'm somebody who's done over 4,000 cold approaches in his life, probably more, but 4,000 that I'm aware of. And every time you go into a set, every time you go speak to a girl, it literally is like, let's see what the fuck happens. Okay. And after a while, you get so many rejections, you get so many random interactions, you get positive interactions, that you kind of become numb to it, that it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that, you know, you are happy with the situation that you created, that you are happy with what you put yourself out there, um and the fact that you chose to do what you felt should have been done. Okay. And if you see a hot girl and you were like, oh yeah, I wish I could talk to her, you know, and if you can then go and speak to her, you literally went for a goal, you went for a mini dream. um and that is, you know, is a big win for you. It's a big you know, your brain, your psyche really thinks like, oh yeah, this man's in control of his environment, this man is in control of his destiny. And then you are allowed to achieve bigger and bigger dreams. And to me, you know, there is no failure. Okay, I show up every day, I'm here looking for the 100 kings, the 100 Amichis, and I know I'll find them. Okay, I've already have people reaching out to me. I had a message yesterday from a good friend of the show, King Z. That's what I'm going to call him by, King Z. Hidden channel. You know who you are. He started his new YouTube channel under his username Hidden Channel, and he is spreading his message about mogging. He is talking about semen retention. He is talking about how to do self improvement. And you know, like in all the years before that, the, you know, people like Andrew Tate, Hustlers University, probably took the piss out of him, probably, you know, used him for his labor, and now he has an opportunity to become the kingpin himself, crown himself a king, and go forth and conquer, right? And I'm sure he will be successful. I'm here to help him. You know, if he needs advice, he can always call upon me. And then, you know, once he establishes himself more, he'll be exposed to the rest of the kings here at Royal Instinct. And then together we will launch new dynasties, we will launch new kingdoms, and we will become the de facto rulers of the earth.
From, again, somebody who could go to a club that had a one-way in, one-way out, and we all know that's a death trap by itself. But I went from somebody who could be in that environment, partying with hundreds of people at a time, not a care in the world, to somebody who create the worst case scenarios.
She probably was drunk. Think about it. She's 18, 19, 20, whatever she said, in America. So you have to have a fake ID up until the age of 21. You know, but she's out there in parties, surrounded by people. She's probably drunk, okay? And many people use alcohol. Many people use drugs to mask any ill feelings, any anxieties that they have. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to do that. You need to, you kind of have to have that fuck it attitude. And it only comes from embracing death as well, right? And I don't mean to sound too nihilistic, too yeah, like too doom and gloom, too morbid, I guess. But you have to be like, yeah, fuck it. I might die. I might die. Who gives a shit? Okay. Because before we die, we are living a life of glory. We are going all out, guns blazing, two middle fingers to the world, fuck the world. You know, not a care in the world, you know, just to see what happens. We are pushing the envelope. We are going beyond boundaries. We are doing things that most people will never dream of, never even dare of. Okay, that is how we are winning. That is how why we will be taking over. It is our destiny. It is our time to win.
In my head, and I would do that so bad and create all this worry, and all of this anxiety would take over, and I would shut down and stay my behind right at home. I've pretty much managed the general anxiety. Like, I don't necessarily have general anxiety much anymore. It's really the social anxiety that still gets me, but it's not as bad anymore because I have forced myself to get in situations where I have to get myself out of that anxiety and out of that worry so that I can get my life back. I want to get my life back now. I would say I want to get it back prior to when I had kids, but I don't want to be that carefree anymore. We're in a different season of life, but I definitely do want to gain my life back and get rid of that anxiety that I developed over time. Which brings me into my first talking point of the video. We have to acknowledge that anxiety in our life. If we're creating all this worry in our head, of course we know that that worry is going to manifest itself in our lives. And this is exactly what we don't want. So acknowledging the anxiety that is present in your life gives you the ability to get in front of it and create a new narrative rather than you having all of this worry that settles in, and then you create a narrative based on that worry. You have to take control. Same thing when anxiety starts to present itself,
And what does she mean by taking control? She means taking responsibility. She means taking the imperative, taking the onus of responsibility and driving yourself into action. Okay. And once you're able to do that, once you can take control of your destiny, of your life, then the benefits are unlimited, right? Because people will naturally see you as somebody who is confident, somebody who is charismatic, people who that you have this special power that they don't have. Okay, most people have the same fears as you do. The only difference between the winners and losers in life is if you're able to go forth despite those fears. Okay, and then once you do it enough, once it becomes a habit, it is only natural that those fears become something that you don't really feel, right? Imagine if you felt a fear grabbing a can of Coke out of the fridge, right? Imagine your social anxiety is so high, right? You're such an anxious person that the thought of going to the fridge and taking out a can of Coke, right, is an anxious event in your life, right? Now, you watching this, probably you're in your house and you're like, well, there's a can of soft drink of your choice, where the fuck it is, right? There's a can of Coke in my fridge. But when I go it, you don't even think twice. Okay. That is how you should be feeling about success, about putting yourself out there, about going through difficult times, going through uncomfortable opportunities. Um, it should be like taking a fucking can of Coke out the fridge, right? Where you have no emotion towards it, no feeling towards it. It's just something that you do, right? Like, oh, I'm thirsty. Let me grab a Coke. Let me drink it. Okay. Oh, let me go speak in front of these people. Let me introduce myself to this random person. Hi, I'm so and so, blah blah blah. Shake hands, and they think you're weird. Fuck them. Move on. Go meet a next person, right? And that is how you need to live life. That is how you need to see these interactions, right? They are not serious. They are not worth being anxious over or spending too much time deliberating whether you should do it or not. Put yourself in that situation, take a rain check. Is it good for me? Is it not good for me? Move out, move on, move to the next situation, because you never know when the right person in your life will come along, when the right people, the right environment is created for you. This is why I am every day showing up here on my YouTube channel. I'm live streaming every day. And then once in a while, a couple times a week, people will message me, because they're more interested in what I'm doing. And slowly, I am filtering out the irrelevant people and the more relevant people who will be long-term allies of this channel, who will become kings and build their kingdoms alongside me. Slowly, those people are making themselves aware to me. They are working with me in the mentorship that I'm running. They are booking coaching calls. And it is only natural that together we will win, that we will rise straight to the top, that we become the new de facto rulers of the earth. It is our time to be kings. It is our time to
is
rule.
starting to affect the way you view yourself or your self-image. If you start acknowledging in the moments, especially when that anxiety is high, babes, and it's got you feeling like you're low in life and you're not ahead, and then you got this pulsating heartbeat going on, and you know the feeling. So in that moment when you're going down a downhill spiral about your own self-image, stop, take control, change the narrative. This is not how you truly feel about yourself. You are in an anxious mindset, so that anxious version of yourself is the one who sees you in that light. But again, this is not you. So you have to stop and acknowledge it and say, you know what? In this moment, this is my anxious version talking. This is not how I truly feel about myself. Now you have control back. You can change your narrative and you can start putting in some of that positive self-talk, and you can start getting yourself out of that anxious mindset and pulling yourself out of that so that you can get back to what you really feel about yourself. So when it comes to main character energy and embodying that main character energy, the goal here is not for us to wipe away the anxiety completely. And the reason I say that is because if you truly waited until anxiety was completely removed from your life, honey, sister girl, girlfriend, you gonna be waiting a very long time. Like I told you guys, I have dealt with anxiety. I still deal with anxiety. But when I went down,
Here on Raw Instinct, we don't deal with self-doubt or anxiety. Once we remove it, it is forever gone, because every moment that we are awake, every moment that we are breathing, every moment that we are living, it is a joy to be here. It is a joy to be ourselves. It is a joy to experience our unique experience. Okay. Everything that I go through every day, whether it is working at the gym, whether it is preparing for these videos, whether it is you know doing work, giving advice to my clients, giving advice to the fellow kings here at Raw Instinct, it is a joy, right? Every time I get a person who sends me a negative message, a hateful message, I'm like, great, because that creates room, that creates the negative energy, okay, directed towards me, about how much they dislike me, because everything in the universe is balanced, right? When somebody messages you a negative message, saying like, oh, you're an idiot, you shouldn't be doing this. When someone does that, there's another person on the other side who messages you being like, I think what you're doing is fucking great, right? You are the, I can't believe what you're saying. Everything that you're saying is exactly what I thought and felt, but nobody's ever articulated the way that you do, right? It's so random and so funny when once you see it really work, okay? And for you to be able to see this glitch in the universe, you have to be somebody who is willing to take that risk to put yourself out there. Okay. I, every day I turn myself this video on, this camera on, and put myself out there. And, I have no idea who's watching. Right. But the right people, the people who I want to meet, the people who want, that I want to help me achieve the next phase of evolution for humanity, they will message me. Okay. I am sending out a bat signal. I am sending out a message to the Avengers. I'm assembling the Avengers. Okay, I am bringing together all the people who believe that they should be doing something great but haven't done something yet. Okay, I'm bringing about the people who, maybe they've been focused on making money, but they haven't actually contributed towards humanity. Okay, those people, I get multi-millionaires messaging me, right? They're like, right, we're going to become billionaires, and we're going to become, we're going to make a fucking difference and stuff. All right, like those people message me too. It is so random, the vast array of people that I get messaging me. But the common thread seems to be, they are people who are dissatisfied, but ambitious, but quite don't know which direction to go. Okay. And then I steer them towards, right, well, what is it that you're good at? What is it that you are most passionate about? Okay. And I allow them to establish a, um, like a narrative around an interest, around the thing that they are most passionate about, right? The thing that they are most interested in. We focus on that. We bring about the expertise, knowledge on that subject. We develop it further. We bring about new insights that nobody else in the world will ever come up with, right? And they are able to come up with it because they can work truly hard at that subject longer than anybody else, because they love it so much. Okay. They love it so much that they are willing to sacrifice time and sleep towards that goal. And then once they have that new knowledge, they spread it to the people, the right people that deserve that knowledge. Okay. And it is only natural that they then receive the best money, the most lucrative opportunities, meet the best people, and they are then seen as a point of authority. And that is what I want for you. That is how I want you to become a king. That is how I want you to establish your kingdom.
down this road of really wanting to just make change in my life, reinvent myself, and embody that main character energy, I wasn't going to wait for anxiety to leave away or, remove from my life. I'm going to do it simultaneously. So that's the goal. The goal is to simultaneously wean out, or is it weed out? Wean off. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. We want to wean that.
I mean, just think about this person. She doesn't know the difference between weed out and wean off, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be perfect, right? Because, right, the soul doesn't look for perfection. The soul looks for similarity. It's looking for a feeling of a person who is similar to them. And that is what I'm sending out here every day. It doesn't matter what the fuck I say, because somebody who's watching this, that they'll get the feeling, they get the sense of, I know what this guy is saying, I know what this guy is all about, and I'm with him. I want to establish my kingdom. I want to establish my expertise into the world. But you know, like I can, like you can go do it by yourself as well, right? You don't have to join the Royal Lansdowne building here. You don't have to join the Amicis. But there is something about once you meet a person who's on the same page as you, who really understands you, who you understand, that together you can create these new, like a new bond, a new way of looking at the world. You can share these creative ideas that you would have never experienced unless you were in those rooms together. Okay. So like this woman here, she's not perfect. She's not the greatest. She's getting her words mixed up. She's getting her metaphors mixed up. But because she's showing up, there'll be a woman there watching, be like, oh my god, sister, you're the same as fucking me. It's like we're two twins, right? We're separated at birth, twins. Um, like, yeah, like you are my true friend, and I want to work with her, right? Like, and this is a feeling that we're going for, right? And this is what I'm sending. This is the message I'm sending out into the world. I am sending out the bat signal. I'm collecting the Avengers. I'm assembling the Avengers. If you want to be a part of the team, if you want to be part of the crew, if you ever felt in your life that there is something important that you're supposed to do, this is the moment. This is the moment where you decide to go on the hero's journey. This is the moment where you get up off your backside, off your ass, and you go into the unknown. You go into the wilderness. You go out there, slay the dragon. You bring back the gold. But the choice is yours. Do you sit back? Do you remain a NPC? Do you remain a background character? Or do you decide to become the main character? Do you decide to develop that main character energy to bring about that main character energy, and forget about your anxiousness, forget about your anxieties, forget about the things that hold you back, the self-doubts that you have, and drive past them, go for glory, go for the kill, become a winner, become a part of the Royal Kingdom Alliance.
That anxiety out of the picture. But while we're weaning that out, we want to increase our exercises to get us that main character energy in our life. So this is the fun part. We get to figure out what that main character energy is, what it looks like, how it feels, how we can embody that in our everyday lives while we still battle with anxiety. So I sat on this for a little minute because I really wanted to give a different perspective on what main character energy is, because I do feel like,
I swear, I'm already feeling that she's going to talk about fucking manifesting. And if she does, like, I'm going to rip her in your asshole. But let's wait and see what she says.
A lot of people hear that term and they automatically think, oh, that's a self-centered person. That's a person who has created this narcissistic narrative, and they think that the whole world circles around them and it's me, I. That is not what main character energy is to me. Now, to some extent, yes, you are going to be, here I go, getting tongue-tied. Whoop, slow down, girl. To some extent, you are going to bring that focus and awareness back to yourself. But when I think about main character, I'm thinking I'm transforming my life, I'm upgrading my life, but what is it that I'm doing that I can share with somebody else so that they can have that same change in their lives as well? If we really want to get down to it, main character energy obviously stems from the main character of a movie. Everything circles around that main character. But let's take a step back and look at this from a bigger angle or a bigger perspective, okay? We see this person triumph, we see them fail, we see them completely bare and exposed. We see them go through adversities.
Yeah, and you need to go through all those ranges of feelings, all those emotions. You need to go through all those experiences yourself. However, most likely, you are somebody who's already experienced setbacks, somebody who has experienced failures in life. So why fail more? Why do you need to go through more setbacks and more adversity it is time to become successful. It is time to become the main character. It is time to get all the fucking golds, to get all the winnings, to get all the success. Okay, because you've already had enough of the failures, right? Put failure aside, right? We've had our fair share. Okay, it's time to get all these successes. And the way we do it here is by delving into your life purpose, by delving into the thing that makes you unique, and by overthrowing the current world elites, the people who are in charge right now, because they don't deserve what they have. They are keeping it warm for us. They are taking what is rightfully ours. And if you want to be part of it, if you want to be part of my movement, then it is only right that we go and take over, and that we are triumphant, that we become the de facto rulers of the
We
earth.
see them confident, but we also see them broken. We see them being extremely vulnerable. We see every aspect of this character. Now, yes, obviously it's a movie, but for the purpose of figuring out what that main character energy looks like, to me, that's saying I'm human, I make mistakes, not perfect, but I'm willing to share anyway my wins, losses, and everything in between. But on the back end of that, what you learn is that because you are so exposed and because you have accepted vulnerability, somebody can judge you, but you've already judged yourself. When you can get to a point where judgment no longer affects you.
Yeah, here at Raw Instinct, we learn to judge ourselves. We are the only person whose judgment matters. Our judgment of ourselves and the judgment of the fellow Royal Instinct Amici Kings that we are building here at Raw Instinct. Who the fuck gives a shit what these random pedophile, island visiting Jeffrey Epstein partying people care think about us, right? Because we are here to dethrone them. We're here to put them back in jail. We're here to whip them in the street, to expose them for the frauds that they are. If you are somebody, if you are a good person who wants to bring about change in this reality, in this world, then you need to reach out to me. We need to work together. We need to be strong in order to defeat and expose these criminals who are running the world right now.
Of course, you're going to walk through life and exude confidence at that point, because it's pretty much like you can't tell me nothing that I've not already told myself. So you cannot break me. We all know one of the reasons people struggle to radiate confidence is because they fear being judged. It's like I just said, if you've already judged and critiqued yourself, what truly can an outside person say to you that'll knock you off your rock?
Yeah, nobody understands us better than we understand ourselves. And because we know where we went wrong in the past and then we go and correct it, um, anything from that point of view, from that moment onwards, doesn't really resonate, doesn't really matter, okay? Because we are here to establish ourselves as kings. We're here to show the world that there is a better place, and we have lived experience, okay? We have tried and tested, our lives. We have always been under scrutiny. We have always tried our best. We know what works, we know what doesn't work. We have lived like the people who suffer in this world, the people with self-doubt, the people with fears, the people with anxiety, and we overcome it. We then go forth into a new reality where we are the total winners of the world. And because we are kings, it is only natural that we attract the hottest queens out there. Any queens who want to join the Raw Instinct Alliance, let me know.
Or get you off of your path in life. They can't do it because their words don't matter. Now, you tell me if that's not main character energy. And the overall goal is to decrease the anxiety in your life while increasing that main character energy. So we have got to figure out ways to manage the anxiety that we have in our life so that we can do just that. I have just a few very proven ways to deal with anxiety. One thing about me, I try to live like an 80% holistic life. I do not like taking medicine. I try to stay very far away from taking pills. So I feel like if you are somebody who is
Okay, I have no idea what just happened there. For some reason, this video has switch yourself off. But regardless, you know, most people do try to numb themselves. Most people do try to escape that feeling of negativity, that feeling of anxiousness, that they try to mask it with drugs, they try to mask it with alcohol, they try to mask it with all sorts of things to appease their ego, to shelter their ego. But it leads to a empty life. It leads to a life where people are not really sure of themselves, where people are not really able to go further than what they are currently experiencing. Okay, and I want you to embrace your anxiousness. I want you to embrace your failures, and then once you understand and embrace it, then go beyond it. Find something new, find something, a new way of looking at the world, right? Bring about new information to the world, bring about a new way of being, a new way of creating, in order to take over and beat the current elites, beat the current evil people that we have running the world, because it is our destiny to win. It is our destiny to become the new de facto rulers of the world. But let's jump into this other video I've got lined up.
Something strange. Let's play a little spot the difference. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? These are all girls.
In a month?
Sophie, for the record, also claims that she is a virgin and does not do explicit content.
I want people to, because I'm a virgin.
Whatever you say, babe. The allure of posting bikini videos and dancing around in your PJs on OnlyFans with a bunch of fellow creators and earning $95 million for your efforts is very, very appealing. Camila Araujo, is that how you pronounce it?
Okay, I've got this other video working again. Let's jump. I think we got to about here.
We're going to walk through life and exude confidence at that point, because it's pretty much like, you can't tell me nothing that I've not already told myself, so you cannot break me. We all know one of
Yeah, we are not here phased by any negativity. We're not here phased by any mean words that people might try to shout at us, to try to derail us. Most people who are negative, like what? Now, I've never left a negative message anywhere on the internet, right? So for you to be able to do that, you must be a fucking dickhead. You must be a proper low life piece of scum, right? Because if you were really somebody who was about it, if you were somebody who understood what other people are going through, you'll be too busy concentrating on yourself, okay? Because you only get one life. This is your opportunity to make a change. This is your opportunity to bring about something new. If you want to be able to do it, if you want to be able to win, if you want to isolate yourself, if you want to prepare yourself for the new world that is being established around you right now, then you need to reach out to me. You need to start building kingdom. You need to become a king here at Raw Instinct. And that is what we are doing here. We are establishing kingdoms. We are building side by side. We are becoming the new de facto rulers of the earth.
the reasons people struggle to radiate confidence is because they fear being judged. It's like I just said, if you've already judged and critiqued yourself, what truly can an outside person say to you that'll knock you off your rocker or get you off of your path in life? They can't do it because their words don't matter. Now you tell me if that's not main character energy. And the overall goal is to decrease the anxiety in your life while increasing that main character energy. So we have got to figure out ways to manage the anxiety that we have in our life so that we can do just that. I have just a few very proven ways to deal with anxiety. One thing about me, I try to live like an 80% holistic life. I do not like taking medicine. I try to stay very far away from taking pills. So I feel like if you are somebody who is
Okay, and we have another technical difficulty here. I wonder what's happening. Hang on, let me just try something. Let me jump back into the video. Yeah, it just keeps shutting down.
$1 million per month from her OnlyFans account.
How much are you making monthly on OF?
At one point it was like 2.5, dips down to 2, back up to 2.1.
Look, man, if you are a girl wanting to become the main character, you need to get your ass and tits out. Right, like literally, like that's what all these OF girls are doing. That is what all these, even talented musicians, right? They end up, doing it for the male gaze. They end up getting their booty out. See yourself as a queen. treat yourself as a queen, right? But you can only be a queen if you have a king next to you, right? Where are you going to go for the kings? It is here at Raw Instinct, okay? We are the makers of kings. We are here establishing kingdoms. We are taking the risk. We are creating a new system. We are creating a new opportunity for the world. We are allowing ourselves to be seen here on the internet. We have no fear. We cannot be stopped. We cannot be doubted, okay? Do not be against us because we will come and crush you. We have an army. We are raising armies. We will be the ultimate winners. If you understand what it is that I'm saying, if you understand what it is that I'm doing, then you need to reach out to me. Okay. You need to join the new alliance that I'm building. You need to become a king here at Raw Instinct. Because, you know, if you don't do it, who will? Right. And truly, truly ask yourself that question. If it isn't you, right? Because there are no leaders anymore. There are no leaders. There is nobody you can run to, you know, be like, oh no, sorry, excuse me, mister. Like, oh, you know, these people over here being so mean, they're, you know, they're going to enslave us and put us into 50-minute cities. They're going to fucking take all our money. No, there is no more. There are no adults in the room. Nobody's in charge, right? But it is down to you to decide that you want that responsibility, that you want to be a king, that you want to be a ruler of this world. But you need to be that decision maker. And the biggest decision that you can make is to crown yourself a king, to come here and reach out and join the Royal Alliance of Kings that I'm building. I'm looking for 100 kings, 100 people who want to establish kingdoms, who want to be seen as points of authority, people who want to bring about and usher in a new way of living, a new world. Build a new world, bring about new creative ideas for humanity to succeed. If you want to be a part of that, let me know. But everybody else, that is it for today. Thank you very much. And I will see you